Hi, you guys. So I'm here to do the No Cap Sunday update at my parents' house downstairs. So again, you might be hearing some noise. They're talking and stuff. You might hear the dog barking. Um, so I'm gonna be honest with you guys and tell you I have no cap for the Sunday school lesson. Okay, we had a different teacher today, and I just did not get anything out of the lesson. It's probably my fault. I probably wasn't paying attention. Whatever the case is, I didn't get anything. But I did get something out of the sermon, and we had a great service. Being a praise and worship leader is kind of hard to me. It's almost the second hardest job next to the pastor because people just sit there and look at you and wait for you to entertain them. But today, it seemed like people were getting into the service and preparing their hearts, because that's what praise and worship is about, preparing your hearts for the word that God is about to bring forth through the pastor. Yay! So we did good. I really enjoyed our praise and worship service and the singing. The pastor got up today and he preached about Job. Job is one of my absolute favorite people in the Bible. His story is one of my favorites. And it shows amazing faith and strength, that he had in God and how God believed in him. And so we started with um, basically where you had all these religious people together and the devil was there as well. Well, when that was pointed out in the sermon, one of the first things I thought about was no matter where you are, you can be at church, you can be anywhere, and the devil will be there. The devil go to church too. You know that? Yeah. So that's one thing that really stood out in the lesson, how, we have to be aware that just because we're amongst, we're in a certain place or something, it doesn't mean that the devil's not there too. You know, he'll come hear a sermon, sometimes too, for whatever reason, just to, cause havoc. That's just the way it is. And so him and God were having this conversation, and God basically was like, "Have you considered my servant Job?" And of course, the devil had his answer where he basically was saying, "Well, you have your hedge of protection around him, so that's why he's such a good servant." But I bet you, basically, what the devil was saying, I bet you if you took all that away from him, took everything away from him, he wouldn't serve you. And so God was like, okay, basically, you can test him, just don't kill him. Okay, you can do anything you want to him, but do not kill him. I thought, and it was interesting that the pastor preached from this scripture because I had been thinking about something this week about Job and how he basically was like, consider my servant Job. And I was like, I wonder if God would ever say, consider my servant Sharonda. Because honestly, you guys, if you know the story of Job, I don't know, if I would have been able to make it through all that he made it through. This is not a challenge, Lord. Let me just say that. It's not a challenge. There are a lot of things in my life that I have went through. But when I read about Job, it's so amazing that no matter what he went through, he still had faith in God. Even when his wife was like, you tripping, you serving God, you ought to curse God, all these things that have happened and all the suffering. But he still held on. And so I have really thought about that. Is that will God use me as someone he could say, well, look at my servant Sharonda? Or even when we're talking to people and, even think about your kids. I know in the olden days, I'll say the olden days, people would say, the parents would often say, don't do what I do what I tell you to do. Well, that doesn't work, right? So I think it's interesting. Would I be able to say, well, just watch me? I know I wouldn't, because I feel like I'm so imperfect in so many different ways, and there are so many things that I need to work on. It's like, Lord, please don't tell anybody to, hey, consider my servant Sharonda, because ain't no telling where they may end up at. But not to say that I haven't grown in a lot of areas. There are some things that he could probably say, okay, when it comes to those certain things, you know, watch Sharonda, but in just period, when he was like, consider my servant Job, I just, whenever I see this story, it's amazing to me. I won't even lie, because, we as people, we whine over the smallest things. And this man virtually just lost everything in a short period of time, back to back. And he still believed in God, and he still believed in God's mercy and his grace. And, he just kept going through, believing and having faith. And God knew that about him. So, my question to you is the same question I have for myself. If God and the devil were having a conversation like this in Job, would he be able to say, consider my servant blank? You don't have to answer the question. I would love to have this discussion with you guys. If you have comments, please, list your comments below. Because to me, that's amazing. So that's my No Cap Sunday update, you guys. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to my page, Shay Cherie, on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram, Shay Cherie. And I also have a page on Facebook called The Memoirs of an Imperfect Christian. I post my blogs and my vlogs there. So follow me on Facebook. And you guys just have a great Sunday. Enjoy your families. And if you don't have anything else to do, catch up on my other videos. Talk to you soon.